Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected professors, associate professors, deans, deputy deans, doctors, researchers, committee members of Majlis Dekan Pusat Siswaza, judges, participants, members of media, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace, blessing, and mercy of Allah be upon all of us today. First of all, let us express our highest gratitude towards God the Almighty. Due to His will and permission, we are able to gather here online, virtually, following SOP. I am your MC, Dr. Muhammad Yusuf bin Muhammad, from International Islamic University Malaysia, on behalf of the organizer and co-organizer, University Malaya, are privileged and honored to have all of you here present in online, virtual, and live streaming on YouTube for 3MT competition at national level. To seek blessing for our program today, let us invite Brother Muhammad Burhanuddin from Postgraduate Student Society to recite dua. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Allahumma a'inna bil ilm wa zayyinna bil hilm wa akrimna bit taqwa wa jammilna bil afiyah. Oh Allah, assist us with knowledge, embellish us with forbearance, dignify us with piety, and beautify us with peace. Allahumma ghafir lana warhamna warda anna wa adkhilna al-jannah wa najjina minan nar wa aslih lana sha'nana kullah. Oh Allah, forgive us, have mercy on us, be pleased with us, admit us into paradise, save us from the fire, and set right all our affairs. Ameen bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.
Amin, amin. Thank you very much, Brother Muhammad Burhanuddin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in the history of 3MT at national level that we are doing this online, virtually, and live streaming on YouTube. We have 50 participants from 19 institutions throughout Malaysia, in which 19 of the participants are in science category, 16 are in social science, and the rest 15 in engineering and technology. So out of 50 participants, 13 are going to be selected for the final session, because this is the semi-final, the final session in the evening session. And out of 13, 2 of the participants have the chance to win the grand prize winner sponsored by Springer Nature, amounting to 1,500 euro. It sounds mouth-watering, because for those who are not taking breakfast, it sounds mouth-watering. So before we start, those who are in this main room is dedicated for the science category. As for others, you are going to be directed, or you can enter to the respective breakout rooms. So maybe some of us need to know how to enter to the breakout room. So let us watch a simple video on these things. Ladies and gentlemen, to enter to the breakout rooms, just click to the icon underneath and you can see the whole list of rooms. Let's say in this example, you join the social science group.
So you will be directed to the particular room. After a few seconds, you can take a sip of coffee, for example, while waiting for it. Then, after a few seconds, you will be directed to this particular room. So you can see here the setup. You can see the audience, the presenter, and the video that going to be played here. So let's say you want to join other group, other parallel session group. So you can just click again the icon, choose breakout room again, and you can choose, for example, let's say we take engineering and technology room, just click join. So enter to the room again after a few seconds. So after enjoying the presentation and all other things going on in this particular room, let's say you want to leave, you can just leave the room. Don't leave meeting, but just leave the breakout room, and you will be directed again to the main sessions and complete the whole session, inshallah.
So I hope by now all of us are very clear on how to enter to breakout rooms. And please, for the participants, don't enter to the judges' room, right? You're too energetic, you are too excited. Please don't enter to the other rooms than the dedicated rooms. So, and let's say after you have completed in other rooms, you may return back to the science category because it is expected the science category going to be a bit long because we have 19 participants and 4 rounds. So you may return back to this particular room and we can complete the whole morning session. So let us allow for a few minutes for judges and participants to enter to the respective group. And science category participant judges, please remain in the current platform. Thank you.
Ramadan datang, alam pun riang, menyambut bulan yang berkah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. VT roll, audio up.
Okey, jadi Tan Sri, berkenaan dengan SDG ni, pada pendapat Tan Sri lah, apa yang boleh pelajar UIA menyumbang untuk menjayakan SDG ni di IIUM?
Kerana pelajar itu sendiri sebenarnya mengalami SDG itu, hanya mereka tidak sedar. Hal-hal yang mereka lakukan itu sebenarnya mempunyai aliran tentang SDG. Misalnya lah, kita bercakap tentang macam mana penjimatan.
Okay, thank you very much everyone. And now before we conclude the session, I will remind you that even though Raya is approaching, please do your assignment according to the guidelines and the deadline, and don't compromise with the quality of your assignments. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Eid Mubarak.
Baiklah, kepada semua yang berada di kampus, mari kita dengarkan lagu raya yang paling hangat di Malaysia. Selamat Hari Raya untuk semua.
Hati ini makin sayu.
Macam mana ni kita? Raya tahun ni, kita tak balik ni.
Kenapa pula? Bukan kementerian dah bagi balik?
Kementerian memang bagi bang. Tapi sekarang ni kita ada kerja nak buat ni, video lagi. Video kita tak siap lagi, nak hantar bayar raya.
Lah, dah 5.30 dah. Kita tak boleh makan dan nak berbuka lagi ni. Kata
5.30
kita,
dah?
ya dah 5.30 dah.
Jom.
Kata kita beri kat kafe sekejap.
Jom. Sekarang.
Sekarang lah.
Sekarang.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are going to start in this particular category, science category. So I would like to welcome again judges and participants and audience in this particular category. Audience are free to move in any of the breakout rooms pertaining to a specific category. So before we go further for this science category, let us know our judges. We need to know our judges, right? So First of all, we have three judges for this particular science category. The first judge is Dr. Hajah Suhaiza binti Zainuddin alias Zainuddin from Pusat Pentadbiran Kerajaan Persekutuan Putrajaya. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. Are you there? Are you there, Doctor?
Yes, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm here. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah. Hope you're fine this morning, inshallah. Okay. The second judge is Madam Norliana Mat Lazim from Bank Negara Malaysia. Madam, how are you, Madam? Are you there?
I'm here. I'm good today. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. And the third judge is Madam Razia Hamdan from the Trolic Energy Group. Are you there, Madam? How are you?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much for all the judges. I think all of us are very excited this morning. Before we go further, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let me deliberate you a basic rules and regulation, because by now at the national level, all of the participants were well aware with all the specific rules. So the judgment are based on comprehension and content, whereby on the clear background, the research strategy, the result findings, conclusion, outcome, and impact of the research. Another aspect is the engagement and communication, whereby the assessments are based on the deliverance for non-specialist audience and enhanced presentations and able to capture and maintain the audience attention. That is in brief. So in this particular category, we are having 4 rounds. 4 rounds. In each of the round, we shall have 4 to 5 participants, right? So the best winner for each round, because in each round, we shall have a break for a few minutes to allow for the judge to discuss and deliberate the marks, right? So each winner for each round plus 1 judge's choice winner. So for the 4 participants, don't feel sad you have not become the winner of the round. You still have the chance to become the judge's choice. So total up is 5 participants, combined with 8 participants of other categories will be selected for the evening sessions. So I hope it is very clear, very clear. Before we start the sessions, I will ask all of the audience participants and the judges and etc. to mute your mic, because virtually is a bit tough. We don't want to listen to any interference. Some of us might screaming, fighting, exciting. You know, we don't want that kind of interference interjected in our presentations. So ladies and gentlemen, let us start for the first presenter, Sister Nadia Akila binti Shamsusa from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, with a title Unraveling New Leptospira Strain to Whole Genome Sequencing. Please welcome.
In the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, let's not forget the existing disease, kencing tikus, or known as leptospirosis. It is caused by Leptospira bacteria. Every year, the number of sufferings and death is increasing in Malaysia. To make things worse, a new Leptospira strain has been discovered recently. But is this new strain infectious? Is it dangerous? What are the unique features of this new strain? All these will be revealed through our research, known as whole genome sequencing, or WGS. WGS is a technology that determines whole genetic components of an organism. This technology detects the presence of infectious genes that causes Leptospira strain to become contagious. Based on our WGS data, we discovered that this new strain is pathogenic, means it is highly infectious that leads to serious illness to human. Just like when we are swimming in contaminated river, Leptospira strain can enter our body through open wound on our skin, and this is where the invasion of the bacteria begins. Believe it or not, this newly discovered Leptospira strain moves like a screw, drilling through our tissues and allows rapid spreading of the bacteria throughout our body. With the help of bacteria's membrane proteins, which act like a glue, Leptospira attaches itself to our tissues, particularly in liver and kidneys. At this point, Leptospira colonizes these vital organs where it multiplies. As the bacteria invades deeper into the tissues, it produces deadly enzyme that destroys our cells, which leads to liver and kidney failures. Well, do you know that Leptospira can survive in our body for a long time? Our research shows that Leptospira requires vitamin B12 for its growth. When there is a shortage of vitamin B12 supply in our body system, Leptospira is able to generate its own vitamin B12 using its unique enzyme. Thus, it can stay longer in our body. Plus, if you're taking antibiotics, this strain may remain alive as it produces a barrier that protects itself from getting destroyed by the antibiotics. Interesting, yet scary, isn't it? Impressively, this research has improved our understanding on how this new Leptospira strain impacts our body. The significant data on this new Leptospira strain will be made available on international medical databases. Researchers around the globe can use it as reference to develop new medications and vaccines, thus saving more lives. Marie Curie once said, "Now is the time to understand more, so we fear less."
Thank you very much. Let us proceed. Next presenter, Prince Nishal Narayanaswamy Elumalai from University Malaya with the title, "You Have a Fever, Is it Bacterial or Viral Infection?" Please welcome.
Hi. In March 2018, I had very high fever. I went to a clinic and they gave me some antibiotics. I completed my course of antibiotics, but the fever persisted. So I had to go back to the clinic, and this time they took out some blood and sent it to a lab for processing. The processing took almost a day, and finally they diagnosed me with dengue, a viral infection. Antibiotics is given only for bacterial infection, but I was given antibiotics for a viral infection. This is precisely the reason why your body develops antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, is a global problem. There are more than 700,000 annual fatalities worldwide, and by the year 2050, an astounding $100 trillion of loss is estimated due to AMR. Compare this to the current COVID-19 vaccination. The entire world can be vaccinated in under $25 billion. This is the kind of loss that we face due to AMR in the world. So who is at fault here? Was it the doctor's fault who gave me antibiotics? Definitely not. The problem and the core issue here is a lack of efficient and cost-effective real-time diagnostic tool. In our research work, we have found that the response to the electrical signal is very unique and distinct between bacteria and viruses. We have used this principle to build and handle a device which can quickly and efficiently give the doctor an information about viral or bacterial profile in real time. Our sensor detects the pathogens using electrochemical analysis. Electrochemical analysis is a conventional process done in a lab, and it takes a lot of time and process. We have simplified this conventional process and made it portable, efficient, and cost effective. We have designed a novel PCB sensor that is very cheap and can be used for rapid detection of pathogens. Allow me to explain the process how a diagnosis is done. You walk into the lab or a clinic, and then they draw out some blood. We only need 10 microliter, which is a very small quantity of sample. The test is initiated by the system, and the software does the analysis of the electrical signal and gives us the results in less than 10 minutes. So our sensor is a disposable PCB chip, and it's very cost effective, and the whole process can be done in a small clinic. The lab on PCB is a real rapid diagnostic tool that can make a huge difference at the point of diagnosis. Imagine if you could do a COVID test in a clinic in under 10 minutes with very high accuracy. This is the kind of goal that we are trying to reach. Hope we get there soon. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked our work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next presenter, Brother Wan Muhammad Iqmal bin Wan Muhammad Kamaruzaman from University Malaysia Terengganu with the title Plants and Coatings, A Perfect Marriage. Please welcome.
Paint. Most people think of it only as layers of colored coatings to make buildings, houses, cars, or even tables to look more beautiful. To some extent, that is true. I mean, just imagine how your brand new car would look like without a single coat of paint on it. Quite dull and boring, right? However, paint is actually so much more than just for good looks, and I'm here to prove it to you. Did you know that paint is actually a shield? You see, paint protects whatever it covers. Without a coat of paint, steel infrastructures like bridges and gates tend to corrode faster. Without paint, they cannot fend off corrosive substances or withstand the bad weathers. But with a thick layer of coating on them, well, hello there, Mr. Rain, my new friend. You might be impressed to know that paint actually saves people lots of money, somewhere in the trillions of dollars. Unfortunately, however, to create stronger paint, some paint manufacturers mix toxic materials into the paint. Some of these materials are chromate and tributylidine. This is where my research is unique. My research focuses on developing a coating to withstand corrosion, but the primary ingredient I use for the additive is made from plant. Yes, you heard that right, plant. And yes, using a plant to fight against corrosion is nothing new. In fact, so many researchers have been experimenting with different types of plants for the same purpose. My study is unique in that instead of using the plant directly or as an individual component, I try to integrate each of the plant within the coating. I want to see if each plant can provide any significant enhancement to the coating performance. As my research progressed, I discovered that the presence of plants within the coating not only helps to repel corrosive agents such as water, it can also make the coating structure stronger and more adhesive. That means the paint will not peel off from a surface easily. As I entered the final phase of my research journey, I found that most plants can increase the coating's efficiency, but finding an ideal concentration for each plant is another challenge. Furthermore, since each plant is unique and epic, their effectiveness will also differ depending on the type of paint. Even so, with my findings, I can now deduce with certainty that plants do have massive potential as components in eco-friendly paint. Paint that protect and does not harm humans, animals, and other plants. So, when the metallic blue color of your 30-year-old car is still intact and shiny, when you hand it over to your grandchild, be sure to thank me and my research. For now, I am the one thanking you. Thank you.
What a perfect marriage and couple. Thank you very much. Let us proceed with Dayana Suhaiza binti Said from University Putra Malaysia with the title No More Anal Digging in Prostate Cancer Diagnosis. Please welcome.
Do you know that cells in our body do communicate with each other? Surprisingly, they do in their own way. But how? Imagine a cell. There are bubbles of liquids inside the cells which contain whatever the cells have, including DNA and proteins. These bubbles are excreted out of the cells and called exosomes. Once out of the cells, exosomes travel through the blood to reach other organs in the body. Exosomes are warmly accepted into other cells and the proteins are released. In many cancers, including prostate cancer, exosomes play an important role. I utilize exosomes to diagnose prostate cancer. In Malaysia, prostate cancer is the third most common cancer among men. But do you have any idea of how painful it is and how traumatic it can be to diagnose prostate cancer? A doctor has to insert his 2 fingers into the anus and go round and round in there to feel for the prostate. Then, prostate sample has to be taken out for biopsy. For this procedure, a needle is inserted through the anus and passes through the wall of large intestine to reach for the prostate. Doesn't that sound scary? The worst part is prostate biopsy may come with surgical complications. Current popular technique of diagnosing prostate cancer, which is known as blood PSA, is neither sensitive nor specific. This leads to mismanagement of prostate diseases. So, how do these exosomes relate to the way prostate cancer is diagnosed? This is what I've been working hard on, making prostate cancer diagnostic procedure more simple, no anal digging, less painful, and surely less dramatic. Simpler procedure can be achieved by isolating exosomes from prostate cancer patients' blood and urine sample. Before clinical trial, exosomes from prostate cancer cells cultured in the lab are isolated by using a chemical substance. Then, targeted proteins in the exosomes are quantified using a machine. If enough proteins are detected, we can directly diagnose prostate cancer with a degree of cancer spread with only simple blood and urine tests. This way, we can save time for diagnosis and proceed to individual treatment. Perhaps with a small breakthrough, we don't need prostate biopsy anymore in the future. Thank you.
Sounds scary. We hope to protect by God for having this cancer, especially for men like me. Let us proceed for the final presenter for this round, Sister Amira Muhammad Arif from University Technology Mara on the title Golden Opportunity for Broken Hearts. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a story to tell. I was at my friend's house one day. While we were having our dinner, laughing and making jokes, all of a sudden, her father collapsed on the floor. Reason? We don't know, because her father seemed healthy all these years. So we went to check on him, and apparently, he was no longer breathing. I immediately called the ambulance, and while waiting, my friend tried to do a CPR. After some time, the ambulance team arrived and he was taken to the hospital. But sadly, he passed away. We were told by the doctor that the cause of death was due to heart attack. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad news. My friend had lost her beloved father. The heart was broken, but not just one heart. The wives, the daughters, and everybody's heart were broken as well. Heart attack is the #1 killer in Malaysia, and about 17,000 people died because of it every year. So what happened when someone is having a heart attack? It is all about the blood vessels that bring oxygen to the heart are blocked. And when this oxygen cannot get to the heart dies. Just like when someone choke you and you cannot breathe. In other words, you get a broken heart. Just like at your home, when pipes are clogged, water supply to different rooms of the house are disrupted. As a solution, all you need to do is call a plumber. What if I tell you that there is an herb that can resolve this issue? Let me introduce you to this herb called mas cote, found everywhere in the country and has been used traditionally to improve health. So, in my PhD study, I did an experiment where I recreated these pipes, block pipes, by growing cells in the lab. I put a group of these pipes with the extract of mas cote and another group without the mas cote. You know what? When I compare these two groups, interestingly, the one that got the extract of mas cote reduced the blockages significantly. What does this mean? This means that you could avoid heart attack with this cheap, safe, and widely available plant in this whole country. If you can have this, imagine all those people out there will not have broken hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, I foresee that mas cote will catapult Malaysia into a serious game player in the pharmacy industry that could bring in billions to the country. Just like the name of the plant, mas, which means gold, mas cote is golden to us. A golden opportunity, not just for the country, but more golden than that, it could save you from a broken heart. And that is priceless.
Thank you very much. I need to find this mas cote. Very impressive. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the first round. let us allow for our honorable judges to enter to the respective rooms to discuss and to deliberate the marks. So wait for us to the second round of the session. Thank you very much.
Selamat datang, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to the International Islamic University Malaysia, or IIUM, your garden of knowledge and virtue. IIUM was established on the 20th of May 1983. The philosophy of the university was inspired by the spirit of Tawhid, leading towards the recognition of Allah as the absolute creator and master of mankind. IIUM triumphs to lead the way to become the Khalifah of Allah, to expand the culture of Iqra, to fulfill the amanah that is entrusted to us, and to realize the meaning of Rahmatan lil Alamin. IIUM has several campuses spread across several states of Malaysia, offering nearly 200 academic programs in 17 kuliahs and institutes. The main campus is in Gombak, Selangor, covering 700 acres, beautiful architecture with elegant Islamic style buildings. IIUM is blessed with majestic green forested limestone hills and a cool calming river, nature's wonders of flora and fauna, making it a conducive environment for study. KIRKHS is the largest kuliah in the university with more than 5,000 students. It was formed to integrate human sciences and reveal knowledge disciplines. Kuliah offers courses that bridge the divide between Islamic and secular sciences. Other kuliah of IIUM in Gombak campus are Kuliah of Economics and Management Sciences, Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, Kuliah of Engineering, Kuliah of Architecture and Environmental Design, Kuliah of Information and Communication Technology, Kuliah of Education, Center for Languages and Pre-University Academic Development, or CELPAD, and IIUM Academy of Graduate and Professional Studies. The campus offers complete range of facilities, including on-campus housing, a mosque, 2 state-of-the-art sports complexes with Olympic-sized swimming pools, a fully equipped library with more than 2 million printed and digital materials supported by online databases, a medical clinic, convenience stores, a post office, and 3 Malaysian commercial banks. The Kuala Lumpur campus at Persiaran Duta houses the International Institute of Islamic Civilization and Malay World, or ISTAC. ISTAC aims to proliferate studies on Islamic civilization and Malay world through learning, research, and exchange ideas and knowledge. The Kuantan campus is located on 1,000 acres of land, just like a garden within a valley surrounded by large greenery. This campus is well equipped with state-of-the-art technology for teaching and learning that offers medical science, pharmacy, allied health sciences, nursing sciences, and dentistry courses. The IIUM Medical Center in Kuantan was built on 27.8 acres of land, equipped with 350 beds for patients and supported by more than 133 specialists. The IIUM Medical Center also includes the development of an undergraduate and postgraduate teaching hospital and tertiary level center, complementing the medical and allied health faculty provisions. Another IIUM campus, which is situated in the state of Pahang, is a center for foundation studies, which is located in Gambang. The Pago campus in Johor houses the Kuliah of Languages and Management, or KLM. The population of IIUM is about 26,000 students, 20,000 undergraduates and 6,000 postgraduates coming from 117 countries. To date, IIUM has 91,257 alumni. IIUM will continue to be competitive in its mission to make Malaysia a global center of excellence for tertiary education. It will also continue to make significant contribution, one of it to serve the Muslim Ummah. IIUM, leading the way. Khalifah, Amanah, Iqra. rahmatan lil alamin. Selamat datang, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to the International Islamic University Malaysia, or IIUM, your garden of knowledge and virtue. IIUM was established on the 20th of May 1983. The philosophy of the university was inspired by the spirit of Tawhid, leading towards the recognition of Allah as the absolute creator and master of mankind. IIUM triumphs to lead the way to become the Khalifah of Allah, to expand the culture of Iqra, to fulfill the amanah that is entrusted to us, and to realize the meaning of Rahmatan lil Alamin. IIUM has several campuses spread across several states of Malaysia, offering nearly 200 academic programs in 17 kuliahs and institutes. The main campus is in Gombak, Selangor, covering 700 acres, beautiful architecture with elegant Islamic style buildings. IIUM is blessed with majestic green forested limestone hills and a cool calming river, nature's wonders of flora and fauna, making it a conducive environment for study. KIRKHS is the largest kuliah in the university with more than 5,000 students. It was formed to integrate human sciences and reveal knowledge disciplines. Kuliah offers courses that bridge the divide between Islamic and secular sciences. Other kuliah of IIUM in Gombak campus are Kuliah of Economics and Management Sciences, Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, Kuliah of Engineering, Kuliah of Architecture and Environmental Design, Kuliah of Information and Communication Technology, Kuliah of Education, Center for Languages and Pre-University Academic Development or CELPAD, and IIUM Academy of Graduate and Professional Studies. The campus offers complete range of facilities including on-campus housing, a mosque, 2 state-of-the-art sports complexes with Olympic-sized swimming pools, a fully equipped library with more than 2 million printed and digital materials supported by online databases, a medical clinic, convenience stores, a post office, and 3 Malaysian commercial banks. The Kuala Lumpur campus at Persiaran Duta houses the International Institute of Islamic Civilization and Malay World, or ISTEC. ISTEC aims to proliferate studies on Islamic civilization and Malay world through learning, research, and exchange ideas and knowledge. The Kuantan campus is located on 1,000 acres of land, just like a garden within a valley surrounded by large greenery. This campus is well equipped with state-of-the-art technology for teaching and learning that offers medical science, pharmacy, allied health sciences, nursing, sciences, and dentistry courses. The IIUM Medical Center in Kuantan was built on 27.8.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, I tried to find Mas Chotek, but I couldn't find. I just find my Nescafe. Okay, let us proceed to the second round of the semi-final for the science category with the presenter Muhammad Ashraf bin Abdul Jalil from International Islamic University Malaysia on the title Schizophrenia Switching Sides. Please welcome.
If I say schizophrenia, what comes to your mind? Crazy, mad, insane, dangerous, or perhaps an image of a man with messy hair, unshaved beard, dirty clothes, walking alone on the sidewalk and talking to himself? These are stereotypes commonly associated with schizophrenia, yet these are not entirely true. Let me share some facts with you. If you have come across 100 people today, at least one will have schizophrenia. It is that common. Yet you may not be aware of him, as he may be perfectly normal and healthy, like you or me. With the right treatment, a schizophrenic patient can live a normal and successful life. Some could even make amazing discoveries and achievements or win Nobel Prizes, like John Nash Jr. Unfortunately, others may not. These are the ones who could barely differentiate reality from imagination. They could not think straight. They have trouble to organize their thoughts or make logical connections. They could be very affected that a simple task to us could be very difficult for them. Worse is, schizophrenia mostly affect the working age group, the breadwinners in the families, the engine behind a nation's future economy. The real issue is that schizophrenia is a complex disease and there's no single treatment to fit all. We know that the brain is mostly affected, but there's more to it. In my study, I'm looking at another body system that is supposed to be protective to us, the immune system. It typically works to defend our body against germs and parasites. And one of its components that helps it to do so is known as the complement C4. And its production could be influenced by a special switch on its genes called DNA methylation. What I found so far is that special switch, DNA methylation on the C4 genes, is more abundant in schizophrenic patients. Therefore, the production of C4 is overdriven. There is too much C4 in the body. At this point, rather than being protective, the copious C4 could be a threat. It could attack nerves in the brain and trigger schizophrenia. As if it has switched sides from being our protector to become our destroyer. The good news is, DNA methylation is reversible. Therefore, if a schizophrenic patient has too much C4, we can tailor a treatment for them. We can focus to reduce the number of C4 by cutting off these switches. In the future, I don't expect to see another Nobel Prize winner with schizophrenia. I just hope that more patients can become independent and live a normal life, and that the rest of us can switch sides to not seeing them as crazy or dangerous anymore.
Thank you very much. Who knows, might become one of the Nobel Prize winner. Impressive. Next presenter, Farah Amanina binti Muhammad Zain from University Malaysia Kelantan with the title Graphene Oxide in Overcoming Plastic Adversity. Please welcome.
Before I start, I would like to ask, do we know how many plastic that we have been used in our life and how many that were discarded in a good place with a proper care? It is uncountable, right? We use so many until we fail to count, and that is the same with the 7.8 billion people who tend to use plastic in a single way manner. Since we are applying the rules to bring our grocery bag to reduce plastic waste, sometimes we forgot to bring our own plastic bag, and it breaks my heart when I only use the plastic once and throw it away, since I know the plastic will live longer than myself. A research has shown that 8 million tons of plastic waste escape to the ocean from a coastal nation, and it requires 500 years to break down into smaller pieces. Our dependencies on plastics and our thrown away culture has led to the destruction of our home, our earth, and even our health. The plastics that go into our river and ocean cease to break down into a smaller pieces and even in micro sizes, and then end up in our water and food sources, not to mention the effect of plastics towards the animal. Thus, that's when my research come in handy. My research is aimed to create a bioplastic material from graphene oxide and alginate. Graphene oxide is derived from a graphene, a carbon-based material that is stated as the thinnest, lightest, and stronger material ever discovered. The combination of this material with some twist in the chemical and formula composition has created plastic that has comparable strength with this current plastic. Not to mention, it is only take less than 30 days to fully dissipate from this earth. Now, we no longer worry about our future generation to live in a pile of plastic. However, my journey is not yet ended and I still have long way to go to produce it in a larger industrial scale. And I do believe that the earth is a fine place and it is worth fighting for. In the meantime, don't forget to reuse, reduce and recycle your plastic. Thank you and be safe.
Impressive, a good awareness on the use of plastics. Next presenter, Sister Nur Amirah binti Idris from University Malaysia Perlis with the title A Potential Method for Power Generation by Using an Emerging Technology Pressure Retarded Osmosis Membrane.
Back in my hometown at Cilegon Negeri Sembilan, I grew up at a place where river flows just behind our home backyard. As a curious little girl, I'm always wondering where this river will end. And that is the moment I discovered a fascinating fact as 8 years old, that when river water meets seawater, they don't mix. Fast forward when I started my PhD journey, I came across a very interesting fact that when river water meets seawater, they do actually mix. And the mixing of river water and seawater, it will create free, abundant and sustainable energy. It is called salinity gradient energy or osmotic power, and it starts with a natural process called osmosis. But how can we harvest that free energy, and how do we turn osmosis into electricity? Well, that is when my research comes in. I use a technology called pressure retarded osmosis, PRO. PRO is a source of renewable energy. The concept of PRO is very simple. Fresh water passes through a semi-permeable membrane and diluted the seawater. And the energy generated from that osmosis process is then converted into mechanical energy and electricity by using a hydroturbine. To date, there is no commercial PRO membrane that can demonstrate a power density more than 5 watts per meter squared. Thus, my works come in to further improve the performance of PRO membrane by combining the conventional polymeric membrane with an advanced nanomaterial, which is graphene oxide. And voila! More than 8 watts per meter squared of power density was achieved by using my combination membrane, and that is 60% higher than the optimum required power density. As energy demand is increasing globally in tandem with economic development and population growth, a global transition is urgently needed with alternative clean energy is reduced to carbon footprint. So let's just hope we can commercialize this PRO technology so that we can have this affordable, clean and sustainable energy. And as for this little girl, the way she sees the river water and seawater will never be the same again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Indeed, river and sea are not the same, especially for those like me who don't know how to swim. But it's okay, alhamdulillah. We have come to the next presenter. The next presenter, Sister Lo Ji Ying from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris with the title, if I pronounce correctly, JESB Physics Game-Based Teaching Module. Please welcome.
Hi everyone. The terms of game-based learning, in short, GBL, started to bloom in the 20th century. And you must be wondering, what is GBL? Well, GBL is a type of learning approach where games are integrated into the lessons and students learn through the game playing process. Many studies showed that GBL is effective in enhancing students' learning and conceptual mastery. Meanwhile, do you know that students are facing problems in understanding the concepts of Newton's laws, where I believe most of you are familiar with the story where the apple fell on Newton's head as shown in the picture, right? That's the Newton's law of motion. Since GBL is effective in enhancing students' conceptual mastery, educators started to adopt GBL to teach physics. However, they face some difficulties. There are so many games out there. Which one should I choose? I wish I can develop my own games, but how? I'm not skillful enough. These are some concerns that ponder in the educator's mind. Well, my research can help in addressing these concerns as I am going to design a joyful, effective, supportive, beneficial, and innovative JASB physics game-based teaching module, which is developed based on the design and developmental research approach, where teachers' needs and experts' viewpoint are taken into account in developing the module. This module could guide teachers in developing their educational games, either digital or non-digital, to teach the Newton's laws and to help students to master the concept effectively. The objective of my study is to identify the needs of developing the module, the design and development of the module, and the usability of the module in Malaysia context. The outcome of my research can help educators in preparing themselves to the new teaching and learning paradigm shift, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, this module could be generalized into other subject matters, and educators can use it as a guideline to develop games other than physics. Thank you.
Impressive. It gives a new paradigm, not only playing some online games, but on teaching games. Okay, the last final presenter for this round. Let us invite Lim Lam Gai from University Technology Petronas on the topic Enhancing the Extraction of Brain Signal for Mental State Estimation. Please welcome.
Every person have a unique brain. Our brain control and coordinates action and reaction, allow us to think, feel, and enable us to have memory and feeling. Therefore, it is extremely important to keep our brain at good health. Unfortunately, with the fast pace of modern life, more and more people experience stress in dealing with work and coping with high living costs. This is really bad for our mental health in the long run. Also, if we do not properly exercise our brain, there is a high tendency that our brain will degenerate faster as we get older. This will likely increase the chance of being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Besides, there is an increased number of children suffer with neurodevelopmental disorder. They may have trouble paying attention, may act without thinking, overly active, or having problem with regulating emotion. All these examples show that it is crucial for us to maintain a healthy brain. One of the solutions to strengthen and improve the brain functionality is through neurofeedback therapy. This solution may sound unfamiliar to you, but it is actually not that complicated. By wearing the brain imaging device on our head, our brain activity can be measured and recorded when we are performing mental exercises. The recorded brain activity are pre-processed and translated into some sort of brain indicator, which are used to reflect our mental state. Using such information, our brain can be trained and optimized at full capacity, which has been proven to enhance and strengthen the brain performance. However, as we all know, human brain is a very complex structure, leading to complications in obtaining an accurate estimation of mental state, which eventually reduces the efficiency of the neurofeedback therapy. To further improve the existing technique, I have developed a baseline detection method to estimate when the brain is ready for the exercise. Such intervention has been demonstrated to improve the estimation of mental state. This can be a promising breakthrough in solving the brain degeneration among the older people. As quoted by Richard Davidson, healthy mind, healthy life. Hence, we should ensure that our brain is always healthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Lim. A wonderful presentation. Indeed, all of our participants, judges today are using our brains, and there are wonderful rounds, second rounds, with a lot of presentation. Let us allow a few minutes for all of the judges to deliberate their marks in this round. Let us take a break for a few minutes and allow them to give the marks. So we meet again for the third round.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A greeting of peace and a very good morning. In conjunction with the event today, I would like to touch on three major issues that concerns us, especially at the International Islamic University Malaysia. This is a university that was established in 1983 that looks forward to the future and try to make meaning of what the future is for us. In conjunction with today's event, there are three things that has been happening in this university that promotes the future as far as the university is concerned. We have been, in the last 1 year, preparing ourselves into a new paradigm of what university looks like and what education looks like given the 21st century. It is called Sejahtera Academic Framework. The word Sejahtera is a colloquial word that means peace, that means harmony, that means balance, that also means sustainability, a kind of the future that all of us wishes to see in the moment to come. And therefore, this Sejahtera Academic Framework lay out what the university needs to do moving forward in changing the paradigm of the education in Malaysia, if not worldwide. We are quite concerned of what has been happening in the last few months given the coronavirus pandemic, and therefore would want to make adjustment as to how we can accommodate the new challenges of the future so that education continues to be relevant not only for this moment but also for the time to come. And therefore this framework that we are working on today becomes a kind of a mission for us to define what the future is like as far as the International Islamic University Malaysia is concerned. The framework will serve to be a platform for discussion of what the new generation would want to see in the world that they want to create for themselves. What are the things that we can learn in the past that is no longer considered relevant as far as education is concerned? There are a number of things that we have identified. One of it that comes in very strongly is a question of the orientation of education itself. We believe education today is what I call weird in the context of it is westernized, Western-centric, it is economic-centric, it is industrial-led, it is reputational obsessed, and hence at the end of the day, it becomes a dehumanizing exercise for many of us. The coronavirus pandemic makes this very clear to us, and therefore it becomes incumbent upon us to look at new paradigm, to change what has been happening before so that we can have a better and a brighter future moving forward. Therefore, the Sejahtera Academic Framework becomes a thinking piece for us. This university will involve itself with discussion with members of the staff, students, and indeed the community around us, hopefully also a global community that is now here within our ambit in this particular event. Now from this, we are beginning to look at what the coronavirus has done to many of us all over the world in the context of education. And therefore, we want to look at the coronavirus paradigm, as it were, and how these changes could affect not only this country, but also humanity as a whole. We have got what we call a model of 3M, moving from manpower, mind, and machines in the context of high tech to what we call the 3H, into humanity, heart, and also high touch. This shift is a very valuable shift for us because it brings in new values of how we need to deal with the future given the pandemic that is affecting all of us. As far as you are concerned, the values of sympathy, for example, the values of empathy, and the values of compassion is nowhere to be found in our curriculum, in our education system as such, be it systematically or be it just periodically as such. And therefore, it becomes important for us to focus on values of this nature so that education can also be seen as a kind of a globalizing factor that brings people based on values that all of us can share. And therefore, social solidarity, social bonding could be enhanced. And here's one of the ways that all of us agree how to fight against the coronavirus moving forward. Until and unless we can act as humanity, until and unless we can agree on what is it that we can do together, there will be very little chance for us to win this war against the coronavirus. And therefore, education must be the platform for us to build this kind of a rapport within the context of education, just as much as sustainable development has been used in this particular context. And I would like then to urge all of us to look at this event as an event where we can all together agree on the things that we need to do so that the futures can be well defined for us, so that education can take its place where it connects all the dots within not only our country and our community, but all over the world. We need to save humanity. We need to live as a group of people who understands what the survival of humanity is all about. We need to also save our environment and also make sure that the future generation has a rightful place as far as education is concerned and as far as the future is concerned. So on that note, let me thank you once again for your attention, and I hope the small piece of ours will create some interest so that we can go on discussing as what we need to do moving forward. I know the challenges are well defined ahead. It is daunting for us, but we have no choice but to face it squarely. And the more we can do this in a solidarity form, the better it is for us. So on that note, I wish you well, and I hope we can meet again at other times and other places, face to face. And for now, this is the only way for us to get our thoughts together so that we can have a peaceful future ahead. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a greeting of peace to all of you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A greeting of peace and a very good morning. In conjunction with the event today, I would like to touch on three major issues that concerns us, especially at the International Islamic University Malaysia. This is a university that was established in 1983 that looks forward to the future and try to make meaning of what the future is for us. In conjunction with today's event, there are three things that has been happening in this university that promotes the future as far as the university is concerned. We have been, in the last 1 year, preparing ourselves into a new paradigm of what university looks like and what education looks like given the 21st century. It is called Sejahtera Academic Framework. The word Sejahtera is a colloquial word that means peace, that means harmony, that means balance, that also means sustainability, a kind of the future that all of us wishes to see in the moment to come. And therefore, this Sejahtera Academic Framework lay out what the university needs to do moving forward in changing the paradigm of the education in Malaysia, if not worldwide. We are quite concerned of what has been happening in the last few months given the coronavirus pandemic, and therefore would want to make adjustment as to how we can accommodate the new challenges of the future so that education continues to be relevant not only for this moment but also for the time to come. And therefore this framework that we are working on today becomes a kind of a mission for us to define what the future is like as far as the International Islamic University Malaysia is concerned. The framework will serve to be a platform for discussion of what the new generation would want to see in the world that they want to create for themselves. What are the things that we can learn in the past that is no longer considered relevant as far as education is concerned? There are a number of things that we have identified. One of it that comes in very strongly is a question of the orientation of education itself. We believe education.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, we have completed 2 rounds and this is the 3rd round. And for those of you, I hope all of us are still intact, our focus and attention. So without further ado, let us invite Brother Afiq Aiman Abdul Ghapoor from University Technology Mara on the title Light of Hope at the End of the Tunnel. Please welcome.
Greetings. Imagine that you are driving a brand new Ferrari, cruising down the road, enjoying the beautiful sceneries all around you, when suddenly ahead of you is a big dark tunnel. As you enter, you realize that it was getting darker and darker, and eventually total darkness. This is what you get when you have glaucoma, an eye disease that leads to permanent blindness. I said Ferrari because your vision is of great value. Now, glaucoma is associated with extreme pain ending with blindness. It has affected the lives of more than 76 million people around the world. My uncle was one of the 76 million people, and he too was blind. So what causes glaucoma? Imagine that your eye is a tennis ball. This tennis ball is firm and steady. But when more air is pumped into the tennis ball, eventually it will burst. Similarly, high pressure occurred in the patient causes excruciating pain to them. Just like how the high pressure destroys the ball, it also destroys the eye. I wanted to find a solution to this problem. What do? I study on a berries abstract called resveratrol. Previously, it was shown that it helps in treating many brain-related diseases. Since brain and eye are closely linked by sharing similar cells, so there is a chance that it works on eyes as well. What did I do? I give the extract to visually impaired or blind lab rats that were subjected to recreate the condition in glaucoma. What did I find out? It managed to preserve the eye structure up to 35%. Interestingly, those rats that were initially blind were able to see themselves in the mirror up to 45%. This is phenomenal finding. I mean blind lab rats able to see again. Imagine when we can do this to humans. I believe this is the answer to a more effective glaucoma treatment. Plus, it could generate millions, if not billions, of pharmaceutical industry if we could make this into a working medicine. This is like finding that bright, sparkling light at the end of that dark tunnel. And yes, with the millions that you make, you can drive that Ferrari for real. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was imaginizing with Ferrari, but suddenly I saw the rats with spectacles. Very nice. It's a good research on glaucoma. Let us proceed with the next presenter, Brother Miwolil Duinong from University Malaysia Sabah, on the title Radiation Resistant Metal Oxide Based Semiconductor for Spaceborne Application. Please welcome.
So it's 2021, and we're now living in a technological era where space technology is no longer a stranger. Many might think that space technology is irrelevant as we're sitting here comfortably on Earth. I mean, why would you need to worry what's happening in space when we have our Netflix, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Spotify to indulge upon? But what most don't realize is that the only reason we're able to enjoy all this entertainment and social media platform is thanks to the use of a satellite technology. Without satellites, there will be no Netflix, no Instagram, no internet. So with all this established platform and a working satellite, what if one day if I were to tell you, they were to be taken away from you, all gone, poof, forever gone. You wouldn't be able to use anything that relies on the use of a satellite. So you might say that, hey, it's no big deal, but to give you a clearer picture, this would literally mean the apocalypse, or a lighter point of view back to the 1900s, where there were no internet accessible technology. Now, in our current age, there would be communication failure, aircraft failure, smart assisted cars like Tesla that can automatically drive itself would fail. And in 2019, we are all affected by the coronavirus pandemic. And without the use of a satellite to transmit information worldwide, how would we be able to prepare for this pandemic? With that said, it is very important for us to maintain our satellite technology. Throughout history, on the other hand, satellite damage and component failure in space are mainly attributed to radiation damage. So this is where the radiation research comes in order to prevent this catastrophe. Other than social media and entertainment platform, the use of a satellite is also used in Global Positioning System, or known as GPS, in order for us to navigate more easily on Earth's terrain. In addition, another example involves the usage of a weather monitoring station, allowing us to observe a real-time image of a typhoon. So, with this information, warnings can be sent off earlier to neighboring countries for better preparation of the danger that is approaching. In my research, the focus is to further consolidate and establish a radiation hardening material. Though to this very day, silicon-based semiconductors are still being used despite being vulnerable to radiation damage. As far as material concerned, metal oxide proves to be a far superior material. Therefore, in my research finding, the metal oxide-based semiconductor, specifically on zinc oxide, shows greater radiation threshold. This is further backed up by past research where several silicon semiconductors were compared to zinc oxide, where zinc oxide shows superiority in terms of radiation threshold, and therefore making it a perfect candidate for future spaceborne application, which can actually replace the conventional silicon-based semiconductor that is being used currently in a satellite system. Now, despite its advantages, the transition hasn't been really established yet. But as Linus Pauling, renowned chemist, once said, there is no safe amount of radiation. Even small amounts will do harm. With that said, let us move towards metal oxide-based semiconductor rather than conventional silicon-based semiconductor. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Imagine ourselves without social media and GPS. Even with GPS, sometimes we got deviated, right? Okay, let us proceed with the next presenter, Sister Nurul Afidia binti Roslim from University Sultan Zainal Abidin on the topic hypnotherapy for weight loss. Does it work? Please welcome.
Did you know that more people are obese today than ever before? We call it an obesity epidemic. An obese person has a higher risk of developing non-communicable disease, namely diabetes, cardiovascular disease, strokes, infertility, and certain cancers. Currently, half of Malaysian adults has access with problems, and Malaysia was ranked first in Southeast Asia for obesity, which is expected to increase by a few decades. And even with some of them attempting to lose their weight through conventional weight reduction program, the prevalence of obesity continues to rise. Tragic, isn't it? Undoubtedly, better weight management interventions are needed, and hypnotherapy gained a positive reputation as an alternative therapy in facilitating weight loss. Aha! It is not about someone else swinging a watch from a chain controlling your mind and making you do funny things while you are unconscious. It is the use of hypnosis technique to make you feel confident about your body, change negative thoughts about diets, and help you adopt a healthier lifestyle and a happier mindset. During hypnosis, the therapist will help you to relax and boost your self-control towards eating. However, the research on this is still relatively limited, especially in Malaysia. So, that's where my project comes in, aimed to determine the effectiveness of hypnotherapy for people with access weight problem in Terengganu, Malaysia. It was a pre and post study conducted in 3 UNIZA campus. By using the convenient sampling, 107 participants were recruited. They were randomized into 2 groups, hypnotherapy and control group, and undergo 3 months intervention phase. Their body weight, anthropometric measurements, and dietary recall were measured at pre and post intervention. Data then was analyzed using descriptive and repeated measure analysis of covariance. Impressively, after undergoing 3 hypnotherapy sessions once a month, significant reduction of participants' body weight, body mass index, body fat percentage, and waist circumference was discovered. In addition, those in hypnotherapy group lost more weight with average 3 kg compared to those in control group. Yes, promising effectiveness of hypnotherapy as an alternative tool in facilitating weight loss efforts for those in need was evidence. Because of my findings, we are now one step closer in producing a safer and effective weight management approach, as well as preventing the development of non-communicable disease. For those having weight problems, don't worry. Say hello to hypnotherapy and bye-bye obesity.
Thank you very much. So I need to say hi for hypnotherapy. It's a good thing to ponder, especially for those who are obese. Okay, let us proceed. We are actually a bit hungry, and let us listen to the next presenter, Sister Nurul Hana binti Mas'ud from University Science Islam Malaysia, on the topic CSI, Chicken Slaughtering Investigator. Please welcome.
Can anyone tell me who never ate chicken in their entire life? I believe most of us have eaten chicken. Chicken has become prevalent in numerous cuisine. Imagine you are happily enjoying your chicken meat for many years of your life, but suddenly you heard from a news that the halal chicken meat company was corrupted, involving the selling of fake halal chicken over a period of 30 years. How many of you can really confirm the chicken meat that were eaten already undergo slaughtering and considered 100% halal? Slaughtering process is based on Islamic law where several artery and veins of the chicken must be cut in manners by a sharp knife in the single swipe by the name of Allah, and the blood will be drained out. Now, let me share with you a fact. From the slaughtering process, the blood of chicken will be drained out, and it brings together the nitrogenous waste that cause the chicken meat to be less toxic. The shelf life of chicken will be increased, in which chicken meat indicate healthier to be consumed, and it happened otherwise for non-slaughtering cases. The interesting part of the research is the target compound shows the activity of the microorganism. As we know, the activity of the microorganism shows the quality of the food, thus make it suitable to become a freshness indicator and also potentially related with the non-slaughtering chicken. This evidence also supported by study of Ibrahim et al. 2014, in which no saltering chicken contain high number of Miss E, a colony of one bacteria. In contrast, saltering chicken did not contain any Miss E. The activity of Miss E will produce Mr. T, a main suspect, a target compound. Miss E and Mr. T is such a lovely couple that are so romantic, so these two are closely related. So this is how my PhD research gave me a job as a CSI, Chicken Saltering Investigator, detective to detect a main suspect, which is Mr. T, by developing a platform that are so selective with Mr. T. Of course, we cannot just get a suspect without assembling a trap. Therefore, as a trap platform on Mr. T fabric, which is made up from nanomaterial and specific enzyme, will be developed. Once Mr. T are detected, the chemical reaction take place to generate electric current that are directly proportional to the presence of Mr. T. And the result will be pop out on the screen, shows the peak of the detection. The advantage of my research is the platform that are successfully developed will become a sensitive analytical device and also act as a sensing strip. So even our naked eyes can tell by the existence of the strip, we can detect Mr. T wherever and whenever. This is a good news for Muslim and government bodies for food control analysis in solving the issues of fake halal chicken meat. So with that strip, even you can become a CSI. And if there is any suspicious come across, we can just use that strip and the result will be get directly and the case will be closed.
Thank you very much. We love chicken so much. There's a new dimension on CSI. Wonderful presentation. Okay, from chicken we go to fiber, optical fiber. The last presenter for this round, Brother Muhammad Saleh bin Shamsuddin from University Technology Malaysia, on the topic tiny optical fiber transducers save the aquatics. Please welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you how optical fiber-based transducers able to fix the global environmental issue. The health of the ocean and the earth at large are lies in our hands. The global environmental failure not only can contribute to the growth of the aquatic species, also the outbreak of the animal disease. It is obvious that the oxygen is essential to our life, not only for the human and the other life on the land, but also for the global freshwater and seawater aquacultures. We know that the aquatic life rely on dissolved oxygen, known as a DO, to survive. But the human relies that as much as oxygen can be dissolved into the water. When the DO, and I mean the biologically available oxygen level, reach below from 10 to 6 milligram per liter, the water quality will degrade and threatening the aquatic life. I wonder, is there a better way to probe and monitor the unstable level of the DO at the early stage to prevent this catastrophe from happening? As we know, the transducer is a device which converts the energy from one form to another. Unlike the bonded molecule of H2O, DO has to be sensing and monitoring using an optical fiber-based transducer is proposed as solution to this problem. The DO concentration needs to be accurately measured in the real times, as it changes is a continuous dynamic process. And when it comes to detecting the damages at the early stage, the visual inspection can help us on this so much. We can observe the unstable level of the DO and add the specific locations that are accessible to us. I'm researching a way to expose how good a DO level in the water is based on how optical waves travel to the optical fiber by investigating its optical behavior. A simple way to understand this, a novel approach by placing the tiny optical fiber-based transducers as small as a few microns of its diameter at the multiple locations, we hope that to be able to understand and tell us much about the condition of the DO level along the way. Although this technology is still in the experimental stage, I believe this finding will raise awareness of the global conditions, provide a significant economic boost, and combat the global issues in the cluster of water security under the specialization of photonics and from remote sensing to big data. My name is Saleh from News Technology Malaysia. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much, Brother Muhammad Saleh. That's end our presentation or our session for the third round. A wonderful session. It started from eternal and end up at aquatics. In between, we have chickens, we have weight loss management, and etc. Nice. So let us allow our judges to enter to the dedicated rooms to deliberate the marks, and then we are going to be in the final round and complete the sessions. So let us allow the judge to deliberate the marks.
And I would like to contextualize this meeting today is what we call celebrating IIM 2020.
Hari ini, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksana di seluruh negara bagi mengekang penularan COVID-19.
Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan mulai 18 Mac 2020 iaitu lusa hingga 31 Mac 2020 di seluruh negara.
Let me reassure you, as far as I am concerned, the situation in the university is well under control.
Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM menghasilkan prototipe robot yang boleh membantu doktor berdepan dengan pesakit dengan membuat saringan dari jarak jauh. Robot yang diberi nama Medibot dibangunkan pakar robotik kuliah kejuruteraan dan kuliah teknologi maklumat komunikasi. Dilengkapi alat kawalan jauh bervisual, doktor berinteraksi dengan pesakit tanpa perlu bersemuka.
Pasukan khas ini terdiri daripada pencarah, pentadbir dan pelajar yang tinggal dan menginap di kampus Gombak. PPE yang dihasilkan akan dihantar ke Pusat Perubatan UIAM di Kuantan Pahang dan lain-lain hospital yang akan dikenalpasti oleh Malaysian Relief Agency MRA.
Sementara itu, Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM mencatat sejarah sebagai institusi pengajian tinggi pertama di negara ini tersenarai sebagai finalis untuk 2 penganugerahan lestari antarabangsa. 2 anugerah itu adalah anugerah Green Gown antarabangsa dalam kategori institusi lestari terbaik dunia dan anugerah memanfaatkan masyarakat menerusi program Light.
Change the stereotype image of Islam and Muslims in the world.
Anugerah ini merupakan pengiktirafan bagi universiti untuk membuat satu perubahan atas kepakaran yang telah diiktiraf oleh bangsa-bangsa bersatu dalam hal ini.
Kit yang kami hasilkan atau kit kami ialah iaitu kit pantas atau kita panggil rapid test kit menggunakan teknologi iaitu nanoteknologi.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, now we are coming to the final round in science category. We have like only 4 participants left. So let us invite the first presenter in this round, Khairiyah binti Razali from International Islamic University Malaysia with the title Zebrafish to Decipher Parkinson's Disease. Please welcome.
In the world today, 1 in 10 people are over 60 years old. And in a year, 7 to 10 million of these elderly fall victims to Parkinson's disease. That's like 1/3 of Malaysian population. Now, what is Parkinson's disease? It is a disorder that attacks the brain. People with Parkinson's disease tremble when they walk, stutter when they talk, and they have poor balance and posture. And due to the lack of diagnostic tools that can confirm this disease, there is one problem: a delay in detection. Most of the people with Parkinson's disease have already contracted this disease years before the diagnosis. And once they've been diagnosed, it is already too late because the disease is already at its severe stage. And sadly, because of this, there is no cure for Parkinson's disease. This was what happened to my late grandfather. It was very heartbreaking to see him struggling with his daily life. And so, taking this as a motivation, I dedicate myself to the research world to decipher the mystery behind Parkinson's disease. Now let me tell you one thing. Parkinson's disease is caused by 2 phenomena. 1, neuroinflammation, which is an inflammation inside the brain, and 2, oxidative stress, which is an imbalance between oxidant and antioxidants inside the brain. Now for my research, I am looking at a specific protein inside the brain that causes these two phenomena. Imagine this protein as an evil witch in an enchanted forest who burns everything that she sees and causes chaos to the forest. My research aims to stop this evil witch by making her inactive. But how am I going to do that? Instead of taking out the human brain, bringing it into the lab and inactivating the protein, I use zebrafish. Believe it or not, just like chimpanzees and monkeys or lab rats, the zebrafish brain is also comparable to the human brain. For my research, I performed surgical procedure to the zebrafish brain to mimic the brain of Parkinson's disease patient. Now, if we can stop the activity of the evil witch, which is the protein, and reduces neuroinflammation and oxidative stress inside the brain of the zebrafish, we can apply the same concept to the human brain to detect and cure Parkinson's disease. The enchanted forest is finally saved. My late grandfather died in 2014 after 12 years of suffering from Parkinson's disease. I was unable to help him. But with my research, I may be able to help your family, and I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Initially, I thought we need to eat the zebrafish to remove the Parkinson, but impressive using zebrafish for Parkinson disease. Now, let us proceed with the second presenter, Brother Noor Azri Shah bin Nurhan from University Malaysia Terengganu on the title Red Claw Crayfish and Flatworm, a Siege to Our Native Giant Freshwater Prawn. Please welcome.
Did you know when you buy fish or prawns at the market, there's a high chance there are worms on them? Ew, gross, right? Some of these worms are too small for your naked eyes to see, but they are there. Trust me. Now, how did worms get on the prawns? Through the red claw crayfish, of course. First, let me tell you about the red claw crayfish. They can survive in harsh physical environments, grow quickly and large in size, making them an ideal species for the aquaculture industry. But there are something fishy, or should I say wormy, about the crayfish. You see, the crayfish carry several disease-causing organisms such as parasites, bacteria and viruses. Among them is the flatworm. This soft-bodied animal loves to cling on the body of the crayfish. But their favorite area is in the gills. Sometimes the flatworm just stockpile there and the crayfish have difficulty in breathing. Poor crayfish. Imagine hundreds of small bubbles stuffed inside of your nose. You can hardly breathe, can you? Now, when these flatworm-infested crayfish were brought into Malaysian water, we have a new problem. The flatworm wants new homes, and they want their new homes on the local species. In a recent study, these flatworms were already found on Malaysian freshwater grass shrimp and crabs, though not confirmed yet. There's a high chance that this flatworm may have also fallen in love with our giant freshwater prawn and decide to abandon the crayfish and start fresh on the prawns. Now, say hello to my research. The goal of my research is to identify the current flatworm species that live on the crayfish in the Malaysian waters and to determine how the flatworm managed to move from the crayfish to the giant freshwater prawn. I use morphology description and molecular identification to identify the flatworm species. So far, I have identified 3 flatworm species from the crayfish. Surprisingly, I also found out there is more than 300 flatworms on a single crayfish. That is a lot. Next, I'll be studying the potential of flatworm transmission from the crayfish to the giant freshwater prawn. I will then analyze and confirm whether the flatworm on the giant freshwater prawn indeed originated from the crayfish. If that is true, we must do something to stop the flatworm transmission. It seems like I'm a frontliner in the flatworm outbreak, busy protecting our giant freshwater prawns. So thanks to my research, farmers, disease control center, and policymakers will strategize and mitigate the flatworm infestation in Malaysia. Next time when you buy fish or prawns at the market, you should be happy to know there's a little to zero chance there is no flatworm on them anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a smart flatworm. let us proceed to the next presenter, Brother Imran Mahalil from University Tenaga Nasional, with the title Virtual Reality Proposed Research Design Setup. Please welcome.
Let me ask you, how would you train yourself if you are going to participate in a cycling international competition in a different country which you have never been to, and the landscape, the surroundings are new to you, meaning that the competition may take place in a mountain area, very high, the altitude is different, the temperature, the weather is different, maybe there's a lot of wind, for example, which you have never been to and you're not familiar with that specific place where your cycling competition is going to take place. Currently, cyclists are training, especially during the pandemic, they are practicing bicycle performance training indoor using a stationary bicycle, usually facing the window. Now, these cyclists, usually they use a gadget called Smart Trainer. Smart Trainer also uses a 2D flat screen of a monitor, handphone, and iPad or whatever 2D gadget that you can see the virtual environment in front of the stationary bicycle. So the Smart Trainer also have a feature where it can cause back wheel resistance on the back tire of your stationary bicycle. So this will help stimulate the effect of uphill climbing. So that is a very famous method of training used today. However, we know that using this current method, there's a lot of things lacking. For example, the cyclist cannot experience the altitude of their event in a mountain area, for example, with different temperature and altitude. Altitude have different air molecules as the higher you go, for example. So there are many restrictions to the current method. So what my proposal called a V-Pro cycle, we plan to conduct a combination of stimulus effectors. So effectors meaning that we have temperature, altitude. This research will also incorporate all the temperature, altitude in a chamber room, the air molecule in the air. When you're at a mountain, different altitude have a different air molecule, meaning that the temperature, the wind effect, and the air molecule are all controlled inside one virtual reality training. So it's necessary to have a system in order to train for certain events using this V-Pro cycle system. So with that, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Impressive. I hope we can set up that in our home, especially in this RMO. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end the science category with the final presentation. Everybody here, mostly the women, they like gold so much. So we wonder what is the color of the gold. Therefore, let us invite the last presenter for this round, Sister Rabiatul Adawiyah binti Zayadi from University Tun Hussein on Malaysia with the title Gold is Not Always Yellow. Please welcome.
Here's a fact about gold. It is not always yellow. So I want to talk about gold nanoparticles. It is red in color because it is very small, in nano range. Compared to the yellow gold, this red gold nanoparticles is very reactive. So it can be used in various applications, including biomedical application. So it can detect the location of tumor inside the body, deliver drugs straight to the tumor, or kill the cancer cells by heat treatment. But here's the thing. If we want to use gold nanoparticles for biomedical application, we have to make sure that it is safe and non-toxic. However, the conventional method of producing gold nanoparticles involve the usage of toxic chemicals. So, The objective of my study is to replace these toxic chemicals with natural ingredients to produce a stable, safe, and non-toxic gold nanoparticles. So, I produce the gold nanoparticles by mixing gold chloride, honey, ginger, and water. Honey acts as the reducing agent. It reduces the gold into nano-sized particles, and ginger further stabilizes the gold nanoparticles so it has a longer shelf life. With these ingredients, I managed to produce the red gold nanoparticles, and as you can see, it has a spherical shape with an average diameter of 14 nanometer, and that's like 1 million times smaller than a coin. It also has excellent antioxidant and radical scavenging activity up to 90%. This means that it can scavenge or remove dangerous free radicals inside the body that might be causing cancer. The gold nanoparticles is also stable in liquid form, meaning that it don't have any changes in the chemical or physical properties over a long period of time. And all these characteristics are made possible due to the presence of bioactive compounds in honey and ginger. So, from this research, we can see that honey and ginger can replace the toxic chemicals to produce a stable, safe, and non-toxic gold nanoparticles. It has the potential to be used in biomedical application, perhaps to cure cancer. So, the next time you see a yellow gold, remember there is a smaller red gold that can do wonders. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Impressive, wonderful. I used to thought that gold is only for our decoration, but yet now gold can even be used for cancer treatment, right? Alhamdulillah, we have come to the end of the session. All of the participants successfully delivered their presentations. Therefore, let us allow few minutes for the judges to give a final deliberation marks for this round, and we shall meet again afterwards to close the session. Please. Thank you.
Are a place of accomplishments. From humble beginnings, we have broken barriers and records. From the rawness of basic knowledge, we have instilled values. Values that inculcate the blossoming of minds and the bestowing of virtue. Our accomplishments have touched the lives of so many. For indeed, our infusing of virtue with knowledge has been the key to our success. Why are we always striving? Why do we keep pushing the boundaries? Why do we constantly try to bring out the best in each of us? Because here, no matter where you're from, you are accorded the same right to succeed. We want them to build a better future, where good is not just created, but sustained. We stand for excellence in our students, shaping their values and developing the world. We strive for inspiration in our graduates, inspiring their dreams into reality. We want to go beyond the imaginable and bring out virtue beyond any barriers. To improve the quality of life everywhere, physically and spiritually. IIUM provides the best conducive learning environment for all students, offering a wide variety of amenities in the pursuit of knowledge. Opening avenues to reach the furthest realms of enlightenment. The International Islamic University of Malaysia. The garden of knowledge and virtue.
We are indeed very grateful that we have been selected again to be finalists in what we call the Green Ground International Award, which is organized by the United Nations together with a number of other academic associations that looks at what are the activities that is impactful for the universities that could benefit the society as a whole. We submitted 5 projects and 4 of them have been recognized to be put under the listing of 3 categories. One is benefit to society, second is about the new learning post-COVID, and the third one is about creating impact. So all these 4 finalists has been earmarked as a possible winner, inshallah, when they announce this on the 7th of July at New York when they have their own meeting. So this to me is a kind of recognition of the work that the university has been doing that is also benefiting students in their new thinking post-COVID, how to make life sustainable, more resilient, and to more accommodative as far as the pandemic is concerned. And I would like to contextualize this meeting today is what we call celebrating IIM 2020.
Hari ini, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksana di seluruh negara bagi mengekang penularan COVID-19.
Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan mulai 18 Mac 2020 iaitu lusa hingga 31 Mac 2020 di seluruh negara.
Let me reassure you, as far as I am concerned, the situation in the university is well under control.
Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM menghasilkan prototipe robot yang boleh membantu doktor berdepan dengan pesakit dengan membuat saringan dari jarak jauh. Robot yang diberi nama Medibot dibangunkan pakar robotik kuliah kejuruteraan dan kuliah teknologi maklumat komunikasi. Dilengkapi alat kawalan jauh bervisual, doktor berinteraksi dengan pesakit tanpa perlu bersemuka.
Pasukan khas ini terdiri daripada pencarah, pentadbir dan pelajar yang tinggal dan menginap di kampus Gombak. PPE yang dihasilkan akan dihantar ke Pusat Perubatan UIAM di Kuantan Pahang dan lain-lain hospital yang akan dikenalpasti oleh Malaysian Relief Agency MRA.
Sementara itu, Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM mencatat sejarah sebagai institusi pengajian tinggi pertama di negara ini tersenarai sebagai finalis untuk 2 penganugerahan lestari antarabangsa. 2 anugerah itu adalah anugerah Green Gown antarabangsa dalam kategori institusi lestari terbaik dunia dan anugerah memanfaatkan masyarakat menerusi program Light.
Change the stereotype image of Islam and Muslims in the world.
Anugerah ini merupakan pengiktirafan bagi universiti untuk membuat satu perubahan atas kepakaran yang telah diiktiraf oleh bangsa-bangsa bersatu dalam hal ini.
yang kami hasilkan atau kit kami ialah kit pantas atau dipanggil rapid test kit menggunakan teknologi iaitu nanoteknologi.
Thank you once again, and I look forward to working with you closely for the year 21, 22 and beyond, and I hope we can come together in a more cohesive way after this when we start looking at the roadmap 2021 to 2022 and also taking other initiatives like the Sejahtera Academic Framework and other things that will come by as we move forward in trying to understand what the future will be like. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A greeting of peace. Let me first of all take this opportunity to welcome you to the International Islamic University Malaysia, which has been established since 1983. Since the last 2 years, the university has been configuring how to move forward into the future. Indeed, last 2 years we have created what we call the whole institution transformation in trying to take the university into the 21st century and beyond. This particular activity has involved the whole university, every staff members, every student, and indeed the community around us. We are very mindful that the future is something that we need to attend to and in fact create it as the way we want to see it in the context of what we want the future to be for us. Indeed, this university is very much interested in trying to understand what the future looks like, especially given the context, the COVID-19 that is changing almost everything in the perspective of our life, including education. And therefore, this opportunity is a welcome opportunity for us to interact with all of you, with most of you, so that we can understand the future better, not only for this university, but also for other universities around the world, that we can move as a collective whole in trying to define what the future would be, a better future for all of us. I would like once again to thank you for your interest in this university, and hopefully we can work together moving forward, creating a better, sustainable future for all of us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a greeting of peace to all of you.
Are a place of accomplishment.
Recognize Islamic finance.
From humble beginnings, we have broken barriers and records. From the rawness of basic knowledge, we have instilled values. Values that inculcate the blossoming of minds and the bestowing of virtue. Our accomplishments have touched the lives of so many. For indeed, our infusing of virtue with knowledge has been the key to our success. Why are we always striving? Why do we keep pushing the boundaries? Why do we constantly try to bring out the best in each of us? Because here, no matter where you're from, you are accorded the same right to succeed. We want them to build a better future, where good is not just created, but sustained. We stand for excellence in our students, shaping their values and developing the world. We strive for inspiration in our graduates, inspiring their dreams into reality. We want to go beyond the imaginable and bring out virtue beyond any barriers. To improve the quality of life everywhere, physically and spiritually. IIUM provides the best conducive learning environment for all students, offering a wide variety of amenities in the pursuit of knowledge. Opening avenues to reach the furthest realms of enlightenment. The International Islamic University of Malaysia. The Garden of Knowledge and Virtue.
We are indeed very grateful that we have been selected again to be finalists in what we call the Green Gown International Award, which is organized by the United Nations together with a number of other academic associations that looks at what are the activities that is impactful for the universities that could benefit the society as a whole. We submitted 5 projects and 4 of them have been recognized to be put under the listing of 3 categories. One is benefit to society, second is about the new learning post-COVID, and the third one is about creating impact. So all these 4 finalists has been earmarked as a possible winner, inshallah, when they announce this on the 7th of July at New York when they have their own meeting. So this to me is a kind of recognition of the work that the university has been doing that is also benefiting students in their new thinking post-COVID, how to make life sustainable, more resilient, and to more accommodative as far as the pandemic is concerned. And I would like to contextualize this meeting today is what we call celebrating IIM 2020.
Hari ini, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksana di seluruh negara bagi mengekang penularan COVID-19.
Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan mulai 18 Mac 2020 iaitu lusa hingga 31 Mac 2020 di seluruh negara.
Let me reassure you, as far as I am concerned, the situation in the university is well under control.
Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM menghasilkan prototipe robot yang boleh membantu doktor berdepan dengan pesakit dengan membuat saringan dari jarak jauh. Robot yang diberi nama Medibot dibangunkan pakar robotik kuliah kejuruteraan dan kuliah teknologi maklumat komunikasi. Dilengkapi alat kawalan jauh bervisual, doktor berinteraksi dengan pesakit tanpa perlu bersemuka.
Pasukan khas ini terdiri daripada pencarah, pentadbir dan pelajar yang tinggal dan menginap di kampus Gombak. PPE yang dihasilkan akan dihantar ke Pusat Perubatan UIAM di Pantai Pahang dan lain-lain hospital yang akan dikenalpasti oleh Malaysian Relief Agency MRA.
Sementara itu, Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM mencatat sejarah sebagai institusi pengajian tinggi pertama di negara ini tersenarai sebagai finalis untuk 2 penganugerahan lestari antarabangsa. 2 anugerah itu adalah anugerah Green Gown antarabangsa dalam kategori institusi lestari terbaik dunia dan anugerah memanfaatkan masyarakat menerusi program Light.
Change the stereotype image of Islam and Muslims in the world.
Anugerah ini merupakan pengiktirafan bagi universiti untuk membuat satu perubahan atas kepakaran yang telah diiktiraf oleh bangsa-bangsa bersatu dalam hal ini.
yang kami hasilkan atau kit kami ialah iaitu kit pantas atau kita panggil rapid test kit menggunakan teknologi iaitu nanoteknologi.
Thank you once again, and I look forward to working with you closely for the year 21, 22 and beyond, and I hope we can come together in a more cohesive way after this when we start looking at the roadmap 2021 to 2022 and also taking other initiatives like the Sejahtera Academic Framework and other things that will come by as we move forward in trying to understand what the future will be like. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A greeting of peace. Let me first of all take this opportunity to welcome you to the International Islamic University Malaysia, which has been established since 1983. Since the last 2 years, the university has been configuring how to move forward into the future. Indeed, last 2 years we have created what we call the whole institution transformation in trying to take the university into the 21st century and beyond. This particular activity has involved the whole university, every staff members, every student, and indeed the community around us. We are very mindful that the future is something that we need to attend to and in fact create it as the way we want to see it in the context of what we want the future to be for us. Indeed, this university is very much interested in trying to understand what the future looks like, especially given the context, the COVID-19 that is changing almost everything in the perspective of our life, including education. And therefore, this opportunity is a welcome opportunity for us to interact with all of you, with most of you, so that we can understand the future better, not only for this university, but also for other universities around the world, that we can move as a collective whole in trying to define what the future would be, a better future for all of us. I would like once again to thank you for your interest in this university, and hopefully we can work together moving forward, creating a better, sustainable future for all of us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a greeting of peace to all of you.
Are a place of accomplishment.
Recognized Islamic finance.
From humble beginnings, we have broken barriers and records. From the rawness of basic knowledge, we have instilled values. Values that inculcate the blossoming of minds and the bestowing of virtue. Our accomplishments have touched the lives of so many. For indeed, our infusing of virtue with knowledge has been the key to our success. striving? Why do we keep pushing the boundaries? Why do we constantly try to bring out the best in each of us? Because here, no matter where you're from, you are accorded the same right to succeed. We want them to build a better future, where good is not just created, but sustained. We stand for excellence in our students, shaping their values and developing the world. We strive for inspiration in our graduates, inspiring their dreams into reality. We want to go beyond the imaginable and bring out virtue beyond any barriers. To improve the quality of life everywhere, physically and spiritually. IIUM provides the best conducive learning environment for all students, offering a wide variety of amenities in the pursuit of knowledge. Opening avenues to reach the furthest realms of enlightenment. The International Islamic University of Malaysia. The Garden of Knowledge and Virtue.
We are indeed very grateful that we have been selected again to be finalists in what we call the Green Ground International Award, which is organized by the United Nations together with a number of other academic associations that looks at what are the activities that is impactful for the universities that could benefit the society as a whole. We submitted 5 projects and 4 of them have been recognized to be put under the listing of 3 categories. One is benefit to society, second is about the new learning post-COVID, and the third one is about creating impact. So all these 4 finalists has been earmarked as a possible winner, inshallah, when they announce this on the 7th of July at New York when they have their own meeting. So this to me is a kind of recognition of the work that the university has been doing that is also benefiting students in their new thinking post-COVID, how to make life sustainable, more resilient, and to more accommodative as far as the pandemic is concerned. And I would like to contextualize this meeting today is what we call celebrating IIM 2020.
Hari ini, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksana di seluruh negara bagi mengekang penularan COVID-19.
Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan mulai 18 Mac 2020 iaitu lusa hingga 31 Mac 2020 di seluruh negara.
Let me reassure you, as far as I am concerned, the situation in the university is well under control.
Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UIAM menghasilkan prototipe robot yang boleh membantu doktor berdepan dengan pesakit dengan membuat saringan dari jarak jauh. Robot yang diberi nama Medibot dibangunkan pakar robotik kuliah kejuruteraan dan kuliah teknologi maklumat komunikasi. Dilengkapi alat kawalan jauh bervisual, doktor berinteraksi dengan pesakit tanpa perlu bersemuka.
Pasukan khas ini terdiri daripada pencarah, pentadbir dan pelajar yang tinggal dan menginap di kampus Gombak. PPE yang dihasilkan akan dihantar ke Pusat Perubatan UIAM di Kuantan Pahang dan lain-lain hospital yang akan dikenalpasti oleh Malaysian Relief Agency MRA.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the session, of the morning session. I would like to take this opportunity to thank to all of the judges who have put their utmost effort in evaluating all of the 50 participants. Indeed, it was a tough job. And I would like also to thank all participants. Imagine you are summarizing the whole research in just 3 minutes. Excellent. And 13 of you going to be selected for the evening sessions. And the names are, I'm not going to mention it now, you need to wait for the evening session. So please, all of us here, tune on to the evening session, whereby 13 of the selected participants, which is any of you, going to be present again in the evening sessions. And ladies and gentlemen, for those who are not been selected, so don't feel sad or immense in the sadness. Just take this as a challenge, as a stepping stone for betterment, right? The fact that when all of the participants are here is already a success. And on behalf of the organizer, International Islamic University, as well as co-organizer, University Malaya, I myself, as the MC, would like to apologize for all of the audience for any shortcomings and technical glitches. It is beyond of our control. So before I end, I would like to recite a Malay pantun. Pergi ke kedai membeli kelapa, kelapa diletak di atas peti. Janganlah lupa, janganlah alpa, berjumpa kita petang nanti. To all of the audience, please leave the rooms and come back again in the evening session. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.